Correct thumbnail. Okay, that's awkward. Well, good morning. We have a technical. I'll flip the thumbnail here. That is because it is not the British Grand Prix. It is the Austrian Grand Prix. I'm like a week behind, basically. I don't know why that. Oh, I know why. Because I did it like super late last night. Or
Oh shoot.
yeah, it was technically super late. Austria. There we go. I made it. There, Austrian Grand Prix. Okay, we're good now. There, that'll flip that,
Well,
assuming that
we
that works.
should
All right,
have
good.
have an exciting race here at the Red Bull Ring.
Indeed, this is a place where Max Verstappen has won the last two races due to quirks in scheduling from last year and the whole COVID thing.
Oh yeah,
We
they raced
raced
here like
back to
twice,
back.
right?
Yes, we did, and it was a free 50 points for Max because it was that dominant, and he looked that dominant yesterday. However, Leclerc and Sainz are hot on his tail today after
Oh,
what
I got
was.
I got a Ferrari take for
You got a
everybody. That
Ferrari, so
yeah, no, we'll talk about it throughout the broadcast, but
yeah,
no
so
problem.
maybe I'll preface it by saying this. There is a lot of who is the best driver
Holy,
at X this
wow,
year.
that crowd looks nuts.
It is. It looks like Spa, actually, like a Dutch home crowd.
Or no, that's not Spa, that's Van Zort.
Oh, Zandvoort,
Van Zort.
Zandvoort, Zandvoort. You're right.
Zandvoort.
Sorry.
I
Spa's
would
Belgium.
love to go to this one. This one looks like a legit football match where they're all like jumping up and down with the flares and everything. Looks very cool. It does. Alonso does end up starting at the back with his issue that he had, and I also think Bottas took a power unit. I
Yep.
think as well.
Yes.
So those are going to be our updates on the grid. Other than that, everybody should be pretty much where they're supposed to, or where they ended up after the sprint here. And then this Rolex should hit 3 p.m. in Austria. And here we go in the formation lab. We'll see if we actually have well, yesterday, Zhao's car just died on the track. So
When did
we
they?
had two formation laps
Yeah.
yesterday, but
When did they change the sprint race points? That was a change they made this year to this
this
year's
year,
sprint race, where now the top
yes, Toka.
eight actually get points with
Which is
8 points going to the
Which
first.
is why it was kind of disappointing for Mick to
Yeah.
lose out to Lewis there. And to be quite honest with you, I think I think they actually kind of fluffed the strategy. I think K-Mag could have just sat in front of him with DRS the entire time, and I think he actually would have been able to hold on to the position. But the second he lost DRS from K-Mag, it was pretty much over for him. But to be honest with you, he did an excellent job. It was, I mean, save the sprint. The sprint was kind of boring other than that. So that's one thing to be said. And also have to say that this is probably the one track that literally looks like an actual arena, in the sense of how it's set up and how you can see the flares and everything like that. It's the only track to me that looks like it's an actual like stadium, in that sense.
The Zandvoort one is also pretty like
That
that
one's also very cool.
because it's
Yeah,
small.
it's very similar.
Now
Yeah.
you were mentioning you were racing this track in the sim here this week,
Yep.
and how it has very few corners.
Yeah, I forget the actual I think it's like technically like 10 or 12 corners, but it's not really that. It's honestly just like 4 corners and that's it, that you have to do. And if you mess up any of these, your lap time's pretty much ruined and completely ruined. And the other thing to mention here is if you go off of the track, especially in turn one, and you hit the sausage curbs anywhere, or on turn two, if you cut it too close, or here in the final sector, right here where you have to come in, there's actually a yellow sausage curve that you can hit on the inside. If you hit those, it's over. It's your day's kind of ruined. It's not going to be good for the car. So it's very precise, but
Are
if
the
you hit it
curves
right,
also in
it's
the sim?
beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I actually found myself yesterday. The car was perfectly positioned on the curb to where if I hit the gas, the tires weren't on the floor. So I was just, I was just sitting on the thing. I was like, wow, are you actually kidding me? I just have to restart. I can't even continue. And yeah, I was sitting right on the curbs,
Oh wow.
which is quite funny. But yeah, it's a very precise track. You just said, but if you get it, it's very fun. Like you can kind of, it flows really well. It's a fun track to drive, but it is very technical. You have to hit it right on the nail, to get the right exits. The exits are everything in this. But the other thing is is putting down the power. We saw it in qualifying with Hamilton and George. You're right on the edge the entire time. I know you say that about a lot of them, but you're really right on the edge on this track, especially in the downhill changes because of the downforce changes. It's very important, especially when you're going uphill and downhill. And here we're going to have lights out in Austria to get this Grand Prix started, and it's lights out. Max seems to have a pretty good go here. He's going to be able to get in front of Charles. It looks like Carlos is going to go up on the inside here, and Carlos is going to be right next to Lewis. Lewis is going to be looking in, and then Sainz is completely off of the track. He avoids the sausage curve. He comes back onto the track here, going right at Lewis as well, and it looks looks like Checo's going to be behind that by himself. Maybe if they both fight, he's going to go on the inside too. They're going to go 3 wide. He may actually touch with Lewis, and then Checo's going to be able to go outside, and he's going to get on the outside of Lewis here. And I think this means no. I think Checo's still going side by side with Lewis here, and it's right in front of Carlos. This is good for Max because it kind of delays everybody, and he's just going to be able to go. And then Checo goes on the outside. Lewis makes contact and knocks Checo out. And
it's George. It's George Russell. It's George Russell.
Oh, it's George Russell.
It's George Russell. Yeah, and that might be the end of Sergio Perez's day, which is a disaster for Red Bull. Although Max might still win the whole thing, and he probably will. But that's
probably the end
wheel
of
to wheel
race.
there. My goodness. Yeah,
Vettel
it was a bit of
has damage.
Bit of a crazy start there, as you said. They did kind of go in 3 wide, and then
it was George the whole time. My bad. Lewis was behind. He's stuck between the 2 Haas's.
Yeah, that was from the sprint race. Actually, Sergio Perez, who worked his way up the order here in the sprint race after a pretty not good qualifying, was starting 5th, and now basically out. Although I don't know, it looks like he can continue. Checo a bit, too impatient there, as Toga's saying. And well, that makes things interesting actually, because now this puts the Haas's up. The Haas
moved up. Here's going to be a look at the Checo's car here. Interesting to see the replay there. I actually did try to make a pass there, and you do have space. I'm actually not sure about. Martin was saying that's like you take a risk, but you do take a risk. But if you give each other space, you're actually like totally fine. You can make the pass there. It's not that crazy because there's space on the exit and on the entry.
Yeah, and on that one, Perez was going along the outside, right?
Yeah, I'd be interested to see a replay of that.
And George was inside, so that was rather interesting. Actually, I might be able. I might rewind it while you stay with the live stuff.
Yeah, and it looks like Lewis here is stuck between both of the Haas's. Actually, Mick's going to get a pretty good run in actually at this turn. He's going to get DRS open there. Mick's looking at the lockup there. He's actually going to get a really nice. It's getting really close to Lewis here. It's kind of like yesterday. It's kind of funny, but it's reversed.
Yeah.
Now K-Mag needs to have Lewis lose his DRS. Mick looks on the inside.
George hits him on the exit there because they both go into the turn. It looks okay. George comes out a little wide and takes the.
Remember, your Sky commentators will always side with George.
Well, no. But so here the thing.
But
is,
I still haven't seen it. I don't know.
The question becomes who's ahead, right? And the contact. Because this was the whole thing at Copse Corner last year between Max and Lewis is like who's actually ahead when they get the turn, right? George
here's going to be the race restart. So there's contact actually earlier. Vettel does touch somebody.
There was a lockup somewhere.
Point. Yeah.
I'm looking at there was a big lockup from the McLaren actually.
Yeah, there's a huge lockup of the McLaren. I'm not actually sure what happens there. I think this is just the full replay of, this is everything.
Now, so you're going to see that Perez, they like touch there once, and then Perez is actually ahead because he gets
ahead at the corner later, I thought.
Rear.
No, he's ahead.
He's ahead. He's ahead.
He's ahead.
And he gets hit in his right
He's
rear.
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's George. George can't hit him there. It should be a penalty.
Yeah. He is Perez is clearly ahead. Yeah.
Uh,
Like Perez is trying to go around the outside. He's ahead
uh, it-
and then he gets clipped there. Yeah. Uh which is kind of bizarre.
yeah,
Uh,
he should be getting a penalty for that.
I
Like,
I would I would think
did
so.
you see the stuff that's been happening to Albon? Albon's had a penalty like every single time, and the leaders do the same thing, and Albon gets roasted every time.
Yeah, there was the
Like,
one with him
like
pushing Norris
he
off the
pushed
track.
Norris off the track. Are you kidding me? Like Checo did that.
Well, that's what they
The
said.
three did
That's
that
what
at
they said. That's what they
Silverstone.
said.
Yeah, the three did that at Silverstone like 5 times. Like, where's the?
You're saying it's a bit of a double standard here
Well,
with
yeah,
the.
it's totally a double standard. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, Albon just gets cooked every time he does. He sees what they do at the front, does the same thing, and then he loses it. And it's the same thing with Russell Perez here. Like, Albon got penalized for very similar thing of that. Like, Perez was ahead at the corner.
Right. Yeah. And it's asking, could Checo get lapped? I mean, he's 47 seconds behind. Based
Yeah,
on
I
just
mean,
the
his race is
map,
ruined because he has the puncture on the side pod.
there's actual like body damage
Yeah,
there.
there's
Yeah,
actual body damage.
is
Yeah,
what you're saying. Okay.
yeah, it's okay.
The
That's the
car
problem.
did survive ish, I suppose, but yeah, actually now both well in the midst of all this, both Haas's have moved themselves up, and now Hamilton is
A
sitting.
6 and 7. Yeah.
Yeah, sitting behind both Haas's.
Oh, Mick passed Hamilton,
Yes, exactly
and they
right.
didn't show that.
There was like some replay that was just Mick, but like had no context of like what was actually going on. But yeah, as always, folks, jump into Discord if you need the race itself. The watch party is going on in Discord here, and join us for the conversation because Mick and the Haas's have been having a very good weekend, very competitive, and McLaren was actually sort of being asked like, is your competition with Alpine or is it with the Haas's this weekend? And I don't think they wanted to admit that the Haas's were really in the running,
The
although
Haas's actually look good. They
they
look
look
like
very good.
they're looking like they're putting pressure on the Alpine here on Ocon. To be honest with you,
Yeah, I agree. What's also funny is I was going to say the for some reason, Frank, the Mercedes seem indestructible because they just go around hitting people, but nothing ever happens to their
nothing
cars.
ever happens to
You
them.
realize
Yeah.
like there was the one with Russell and Perez. Hamilton hit somebody yesterday in the sprint race, no? Or 2 days ago.
Is something wrong with Max's car? It's within 0.5. Charles is within 0.5.
Charles is within point 0.5. He's definitely has a bit more pace today than he did
He's
yesterday, I think
pushing
so.
more because that gap of few laps ago was a little less.
Remember, he's got what 3 DRS zones to make
Yeah.
to make up ground here. So it is quite a bit of he is showing quite a bit of pace. I didn't think that the Ferraris really had the race pace. Well, in the sprint yesterday, like Max just kind of got away, and it just the gap just kept growing. Yeah, it just like and he finished like I think something like over 2 seconds or something, but it looked quite dominant. Now that was of course because Leclerc and Sainz were fighting each other the entire sprint race for all 23 laps, and you had a Ferrari hot take, so I guess that's a good segue
Yeah,
for
Leclerc
that.
thinking about making the pass here there. The fact that he's got DRS makes it pretty hard for the Red Bull to actually get away.
Yeah. And he's about to lap his teammate here, Perez, who is on hard tires, actually going around there, turn 6. Now, wait, so what was your Ferrari hot take? Oh, hello?
No,
No? What?
you should.
What are we doing?
I don't know. I was just looking at this. I don't know if you said something.
Oh, no, I was asking what your Ferrari hot take was.
Oh, so the Ferrari, yeah. So it's the idea of the that Carlos, after winning the race, actually thinks he's a number one driver when in reality he's not. And unfortunately, that ruins the entire thing for Ferrari because they like Charles is clearly the number one driver and they should have him preferred on basically everything. And by Carlos trying to prove it, like we saw in the sprint, it doesn't do anything. It actually just hurts them, if anything.
I see. Yeah, well, there's and then there was also the the one with Mick and Magnussen too. Although I guess is Mick supposed
That's
to be
so
the number
even that
one
I don't even know.
driver at Haas? Like
Yeah.
there's just a lot of like it's unclear who the number one driver at
But
is.
I mean, this one for Ferrari though is very like clear. Like he's clearly the highest in the points. Like
Right,
he's the
right.
closest to Max. Like he should.
But I mean, Carlos got the win last week because he basically like drove his own race and just completely did not listen to that. I think the Ferrari team probably wanted to. Well, actually, I don't know what they were doing because they left Charles out on hard tires and they just basically left him
Exactly.
to rot. So, but like that
Yeah.
doesn't help the situation either because if you're saying
No.
that Leclerc is supposed to be your number one driver
And
and he's
Leclerc's
going to
going to
make
go
it
the
move on the
inside move
inside.
here, and it's going to push Max to the outside. But I don't think that's going to actually key it there. But I think Leclerc's going to have the axle go at it here again. He's going to go on the
Oh, what a
outside
move.
and inside. Max is going to go on the inside, tries to take the long way. Doesn't work. Leclerc locks, and then there it goes.
Wow, that was
This
the well,
should
so
be a
that was the
battle back
first
and forth
go.
this whole time.
That was Leclerc's
And
first go at
Russell
Max
gets
here.
the penalty for hitting Checo.
Oh, it
So,
is? Oh, I didn't see
wow,
that
it's
come
not
through.
Massey. Whoa, what did he say?
5 second time penalty, yeah,
No,
for
no, what
Russell.
did Max say?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think there was anything on the radio. They like brought up the graphic, but it didn't actually say anything.
Uh,
Well, I think Ferrari's gonna have to. So Leclerc's probably gonna have to charge the battery and have another go because he is staying within this 1 second here. And you can see when the Ferraris aren't fighting each other, how
how fast
fast
they
they
are.
are. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like Charles at the end of the interview was like, yeah, I mean, like he's gonna maybe die. No, he doesn't. He thought about it.
You're right. At the end of
And
the
then he's
interview
gonna go on the
yesterday,
exit. Yeah, he says he's like, we have the pace, and he kind of smiled, and they actually do.
yeah, he
And
knew
he
something was up.
don't think he's gonna get close enough here.
Oh man,
Max is taking up all the track and taking up the best line for himself.
so we are we gonna have this all day? Because that would actually make this race quite
It's
compelling.
interesting to see how much of the wear this is. Yeah, so it's this weird battle back and forth, right? Like it does Max is sort of saving his tires here and just hoping to not get past, and Charles is he just using all his tire to try to pass, right? And then that hurts him later on in the race. So it's a very weird battle of going back and forth. It's like Red Bull's just trying to hold on to this buffer as long as they can to get the advantage for later in the race. They
Well,
hit the sausage curve and they don't lose the car. I don't understand why I do. Russell goes into the pits.
and he's gonna have to serve his five
Yeah, he
second
has to
time
take his
penalty.
5 second time penalty.
Yeah, and this is going to be great for Esteban Ocon, who's been having himself a very nice race so far. He's up into fourth, but it
Charles
really
may
is.
get close enough here.
He's got the DRS wide open
He's
here.
going to
He's going
go
to
on
make a
the
move on the inside.
inside. He does. And
Clean.
he should get past Max here as well.
Can Max pass back on the next DRS, however? Clean pass
That
on
was a
the
very
inside.
great pass. That was an incredible pass from Charles.
It
Oh, and
was.
he almost loses it there.
You know, I think this is the first time
That's a
since.
great. This is it since we've seen them be able to go back and forth at each other.
Yeah, exactly. Since Leclerc won it in Australia, that we've really seen sort of this back and forth between these guys, which was like sort of a hallmark of the first couple races of
Yeah,
the
let's see.
season.
Max is going to try to take the middle. Yeah, there's. Hey, look what happens when you
He gave,
give space.
yeah. Well, Max had to bail out of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
But that was a great move. Very good move by Charles there. I like watching these two battling is really funny. It is really fun to watch.
I don't know why we're watching a replay of a
Yeah,
5 second
when like Max
penalty.
has possible DRS on Charles, it's because it's
Yeah.
Mercedes and George is driving and it's Sky Sports.
Like what? There's nothing happening in this pit
There's nothing
stop
happening.
F1.
Like it doesn't even have the timer, so we don't even know if it was a good pit. That's a
Oh, what
huge
a
lockup
huge
there.
lockup!
Mix up on the inside.
Timothy, good morning. Good morning from is going in. Good morning from North Carolina. A second warning
Morning.
for track limits. Interesting.
Yeah. So this track is brutal. Like it's very easy to go over track. Like he just did it there without even wanting to do it. It's very easy to break track limits. I had like every single track time deleted. Not that it mattered, but Verstappen's gonna
Box
box.
early in early pit. And actually, talking about track limits, remember it was Sergio Perez who had his Q2 time deleted after the Q3 qualifying, which was what set him back in the sprint race, and then he built it back up, which was very, very bizarre to have your track time deleted after the
And
qualifying session.
Max will go on hards.
Yeah, and he's gonna come out after in front of Lewis here.
Comes out in front of
No,
Lewis.
Stroll.
No, Stroll.
Stroll. Sorry. Interesting. So he's gonna throw in an early pit stop here. And now, so the trouble though for Red Bull was that they thought they were gonna have Perez up in fifth
Yeah,
and
exactly.
be
So they
able to
don't.
do like, play the pit strategy with Ferrari. That's all out the window. Max is just on his own here. A bit of a slow stop there on the front left. I wonder if they had to force an early box due to the lockup on the rear right.
I think I wonder if the lockup kind of forced the wow Lewis going on the inside of Mick here.
Well, we've seen these two do battle all weekend. Mick is
And
not
he does
afraid,
make the
but he
pass
does,
there.
yeah, he does get ahead. I want to see Mick go right back at him because Mick is, not one to,
Yeah, if he
lay
has
it
the
down
DRS
here.
back on him.
Well, it's a bit of a DRS
Signs his
situation.
Ferrari, second warning line, which doesn't really. It doesn't. Yeah,
So
but it doesn't
everybody's
really
getting
do
warned
much.
for
Yeah, like
limits.
it's happening to everybody, so it doesn't really do too much, right?
Slow stop there for Orlando. 3-7.
If you're interested and you want to watch the or watch the pictures here, they're in chat. Come in and watch.
Almost at sprint rates.
And
This
he's
is
going to
why
make a
Hamilton's going
move
to try
here
to
on
make a move.
K-Mag, and he's going to be able to most likely get in front of K-Mag here.
Yeah. Oh, another lockup there for Schumacher. It looks like that right rear again that we saw Verstappen have issues with as well. Verstappen getting his first warning. Everybody's just, everybody
Yeah,
gets a track
everybody's
limits
getting
warning here. They're
warnings.
just throwing them around like candy. And it looks like actually Verstappen is making up ground on the Haas's.
Yeah,
If
on the
that's,
Haas's.
yeah,
He's actually right behind them right there.
yeah, he should actually. One
And
of the
Mick goes
Haas's
into
just
the
went to
pit.
pit.
Or no, K-Mag goes into the pit. And then this is, like we saw in Silverstone, this is Verstappen on Mick here.
Yeah, except the other way around.
But the Haas has DRS somehow.
Haas has DRS off of Hamilton, which no, he had it off of Magnussen.
Oh,
He had
so
it
he
off
should
his
be able to make
teammate.
a pass here, right? Yep.
Yeah. Who went into the pit there, and Max should be clean around this corner. Yeah, carrying the speed, very nice. And now Max has Lewis Hamilton in his sights.
Yeah, now is Lewis next.
But what's interesting here is that there's a massive gap between the leaders and what's
Yeah,
going on back here.
yeah, exactly. Once again.
Like it is Leclerc and Sainz out in clean air, which makes this pit stop again sort of interesting because you basically gave Ferraris clean air and they're just going to race, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I would think.
And but that's kind of like you're just giving them so much lap time. I don't know, to throw in the early pit stop. I guess you're just completely
Ocon goes
stifling.
in the pits here. So does Schumacher.
Yeah. Because they were what was it? Now sort of the gap between Sainz and Hamilton is 16 seconds. It's like, and the lap times are 110, so you're basically like a quarter of the track in front. Very slow pit stop there for Schumacher. We've been seeing a
Yeah,
lot of
that wasn't
slow
very
pits.
good, to be honest with you.
A lot of slow pit
And
stops
Max should
for him.
have DRS open here on Lewis. I don't think he's gonna be able to make the pass here, but he'll get it at least on the next lap, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Because the thing is, if Ferrari pits, then they find themselves between in that gap, right? So it's a little different.
So the
Perez just
pit stops.
content driving his broken car around the track. It's kind of
Unfortunately.
funny, like it,
Well, it's about 20 seconds, right? Is what we've got with the pit stop, which is actually the interval between Leclerc and Hamilton, first to third. So if you pitted right now, you would basically put yourself right on the edge of coming out in front of this little Verstappen Hamilton duel that we're having shades of 2021 from last year here. If you didn't, Frank, if you didn't
it-
know any better,
it's gonna go on the outside of Lewis
you try.
or attempt, and he's not gonna be able to get the pass.
If you didn't know any better
But
and you
he's
didn't
gonna
see
be
the
able to make the pass
Ferraris,
here pretty easily, I think, with DRS. Yeah.
you'd think that this was last year, and you're like, oh,
Yeah, right.
Max and
But
Lewis
there
are fighting
but there's still
again.
Ferraris up ahead.
Yeah, but there's two Ferraris way in front.
Together though, together, always
Always,
together,
always,
always together.
always. Siempre insieme. Yeah,
Yeah.
always together. All right, and so Max now
So
has
now
the
it's
clean
basically
air.
Max just has to chase.
Chase. Yeah, exactly. Max is chasing because he has exactly 20 seconds worth of interval over to Charles, and he's just got to put down lap times. And so he's going to want to be able to win out on the pit stop, right? So for and if Ferrari has even any slow stop, is going to cost them here, which they have been prone to. Lest we forget. Some
This
nice
is
replays.
the pass on Lewis here,
Yeah,
which is just easy button passing there.
well, I mean, Lewis was saying earlier that
Yeah.
the straight line
No, the straight
speed.
line speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Max just lost.
He lost a lot of time.
Unless they switch that from interval to gap, which they did.
Oh, it's a leader, which they
Yeah,
did.
they did. Very
Well, yeah,
convenient.
yeah. Nothing actually changed.
Nothing actually changed. Because we're they're just trying to look at the pit stop window there, and then you clearly see it now that you're within that 20-second pit stop window. So
Oh, the Alpine. Oh, that was got squabbly there.
now this is Fernando Alonso, who's made his
Yeah.
way up to 8th, but has not
Who
pitted
was
yet.
all the way at the back? Hasn't pitted yet.
Right. So you see this hasn't quite cycled through. You see a bunch of folks, Sonoda, Joe, Alonso, Vettel, actually 4 through 9. Yes.
Oh, we also have to say a shout out to Piero Gassoso
Piero
for
Gassoso.
not making it out of a sprint again.
Okay, well, so there's the sprint working in the other direction though, because you saw Perez made great gains in the sprint, but
Yeah.
Pedro Gasioso, unfortunately, was in 10th and did not work for him.
And it did not work at all. I mean, yeah, it's brutal.
Another first
He's
lap
had such
incident.
bad. I feel like AlphaTauri this year should. It's weird because they're sort of sister teams with Red Bull, so you'd think they'd be a little better, but they're like not even close.
No, they're not. It's a big step. It's a big step down.
Like I don't understand the like what's like what broke, you know? Like what's wrong? What's so
Well,
different?
they have slightly, I don't know, maybe they have the
Here's
B
I think
parts.
Mick passing Ricardo
Let's see what this is. Ooh.
on the inside. Or Lando. Ricardo's in front of him then.
No,
And then I think
that was a Ricardo pass.
it was Ricardo. Then
It
he was
was.
wrong. I was
Yeah,
right.
you're right. You're right. Yeah. Because Norris is in 11th.
And then
right
K Mag
now.
is thinking of making that pass there on Vettel. right behind him. Or, well, Vettel pitted, I guess, now. Yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
so I'm trying to look at the pit stops right
If you want to
now.
see live pictures, hop in the chat, or in the chat, you can click those links and then join our Discord.
So the gap between
Jesus,
Hamilton
Plan
and
E.
K-Mag is literally 20
Oh,
seconds.
Norris is going to be right on K Mag. Norris may be able to get, if he gets DRS here down this straight, maybe. It's really far back in the pictures, though. You can't really see it. No, it's too far away still.
Yeah, we're looking at these folks who still need to cycle through their pit stops.
The interval is now 18 seconds.
Yeah.
Or the total, right? Is
We're
18 seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's ahead.
He's ahead.
And
Max
then
should be ahead.
Charles has to catch him 2 seconds.
And we're closing in on sprint race distance here. This was the 23 laps.
Oh, yeah, you're right, actually.
Of the sprint race. So, decent. Red Bull still showing decent pace here. The Ferraris still out in front in clean air, kind of just following each other as they should be. I'm just looking. I'm trying to look a little farther down the order because I'm very interested in what's going to happen between Hamilton, Stroll. Looks like Ocon has.
Oh, does he make the move on the Alpha? He's going to go on the outside here. It's Ocon's going on the outside, but nope. It's going to be closed there by Zhao, but then Ocon's maybe going to be able to get it on the inside, but they both have DRS. They're going to go on this. Ocon's going to be on the inside. Zhao's going to be on the outside, and Ocon gets the pass.
Ocon.
Actually, I take that back. Zhao's going to come back on the inside. They're going to go back to wheel. No, okay. Ocon secures it. And that's also Zhao using an older chassis, obviously.
Yeah, after the
Verstappen radio.
Yeah, that's the Red Bull pit wall basically informing him that he's ahead, but not by much. So he needs to keep pushing here.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's,
I think Ocon now going to look at Tsunoda. I don't think Tsunoda's pitted yet either.
Nope.
Ocon maybe is going to get this on the straight. He's going to be able to get it. He's going to think about maybe going on the inside. He's going to dive on the inside. Tsunoda has nothing he can do.
Nothing he can do here. Ocon upped into 6th, and as folks cycle through, he's actually going to end up back in 4th.
And then Yuki's going to go right back at him, actually, with DRS. He's going to go on the outside. I don't think he's going to be able to get it, though. Ocon makes nice moves to move up. Good job.
Yeah.
Pretty good scrap here.
Recovers
and then, wow, and then you have Alonso and Zhao going at it again. Alonso's going to take the inside. Oh, but he loses a little grip. He peaks, and then he goes back in.
That Joe's Alpha doing pretty good. Bottas is kind of
Sherlock
out of it.
Says Ferrari master plan. We'll see if it works this time. Yeah. Alonso goes on the outside. He breaks early. Let's Zhao go, and then he's going to get it better. Oh, that was close.
I like the overhead.
And then K-Mag's going to go back on Alonso here. Is going to go on the inside. So they're going to go 3 wide into turn 1, or Zhao's just going to get eaten. K-Mag just takes the front and goes. This is great racing. And then now they all have DRS. It's like 5 cars literally right next to each other. And it's Mick's going to go up in front, and then you're going to have Lando on the outside. Alonso's going to be squeezed on the inside. Zhao's going to go on the inside. Nobody makes contact. It's going to be Lando still on the outside, and it's going to be wheel to wheel with K-Mag, and the K-Mag doesn't have DRS, so he's the only one without it. Norris is going to go on the outside, and then K-Mag's going to lunge in to keep it. I don't know. He does. Lando can't keep the grip, and K-Mag goes. That was pretty exciting, though.
Lando's going to come around here, turn 6 again. Wow, this is like 5-car pack that's just going at it. That's insane. But Lando was definitely off the track there, with both sets of tires. We'll see what ends up, if maybe he got pushed off. I don't know. That was
probably saw that and was like, hey, just don't, let's keep the car in one piece.
That was some of the best racing we've had all afternoon, actually.
Yeah, it definitely was.
That was
fantastic.
Goes into the pits there.
Hamilton radio.
We've had a
What
lot.
does it
So
mean if
what
you
does
have
that
a lap
mean?
deleted? Yeah. Does that mean he's at 24?
Like,
Oh, and just as we're saying that, K-Mac's gonna try to make the, or no, Mick's gonna try to make the pass there on Alonso, and he almost got it.
I was also thinking about
Goes
these warnings.
inside on Alonso. Nice, the gap's there, and he makes the pass on Alonso there into turn 3.
Moves himself up into the points. Actually, I love how Schumacher's driving with just a ton of confidence. Is these
Yeah,
last
he's
couple
yeah, he's
races?
kind of turned it around a little
Yeah.
bit. It's been very good. I have to say, after being under a lot of pressure, Max getting a warning of limits. There's Mick taking one of his visors off.
So the only thing I can think of is that if you have the fastest lap, but you have
It
track
gets a
limits,
it
it
gets
gets deleted.
removed.
But
Yeah,
because I don't, what are you gonna do in the middle of the race? I don't get that one. Is your
I think this
DTS?
is retiring the
Oh,
car.
they're retiring the car. Yeah, they're gonna call it a day, I think, here for Perez, as the Ferraris are getting ready to
The Ferrari's
pit.
coming to the pit. Let's see if Charles gets into
Okay, but
by his team.
the gap isn't there. Max should come out in front.
Like way ahead. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we've known the gap's been the opposite way for a little bit of time now, actually. Let's see how this pit stop is. It's a decent pit
It's
stop.
a really good pit stop. It's the 2-6 from Ferrari.
2-6, yeah. As you can see, Max on your camera there.
Yeah, well ahead here from Charles. Oh, that's
But
a much
Charles is
bigger
gonna be on
gap.
fresh tires here and should be able to kind of just run.
Yeah, let's see.
So
The
that's
interval
7 seconds. So
seconds. That's more than well, it's a kind of around what we thought here. Well, that leaves science out for a little while, and as Chaz saying, Ferrari master plan in effect here,
yeah.
maybe. Yeah, no, now they're gonna bring him
Science
in.
boxing. Wow, look at that. They actually boxed Leclerc before science. It's like they learned something.
Yeah, Ferrari master plan
What a
in effect.
miracle.
But science is gonna come.
He's gonna come out behind Hamilton.
Yeah, he's gonna come out behind Hamilton.
Yeah, which is not where they want to be.
Well, Hamilton hasn't pitted.
Uh, yeah, you're actually right. Never mind.
No, so
And
I
Mick
actually
makes the
was thinking
pass
about
on
this.
Lando. I don't know if that's a pit or he actually made the pass, but I think he did make the pass.
There's just a lot. There's a lot going on, all the way from 6 down to like 11.
Yeah, because this track sort of does that. You can actually pass on this track,
Yeah.
right? Like it makes it pretty exciting. And the DRS zones are slightly long enough to where you pass, but you can pass them back, right? Like I think it makes it kind of more exciting. That was a really good pit stop for Sainz there, 2-3.
Yeah, that was.
He does end up behind Hamilton.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be for much longer here.
No, I think Hamilton's going to get pitted soon here.
Unless Mercedes is going like extra
Super long and put some
Yeah.
unsofts and mediums at the end, but I doubt that.
Stroll also has yet to pit, and Alonso is the only one that hasn't pitted either. Now, I'm sort of curious though.
Here, I think is the Mick pass on Lando
Mhm.
that I mentioned earlier. He takes the inside into turn 2. 3, I guess that they call that one little kink a turn.
Interesting. Norris has some.
I guess.
It
Didn't
feels
look
like he
that
was hard
bad.
done there. On the.
It didn't really look that bad, to be honest with you.
It didn't look awful. No, I agree.
Yeah, I've seen worse, I would say.
The graphic is very wrong there on the tire age for Max. Max is about
Yeah,
12
it's
laps
wrong.
on his hard tires, and here is the Hamilton
Here's the
pit.
Lewis pit that we called. Yep.
Yeah.
And remember, if you're hanging out and you want to watch the live pictures, you can hang out on our Discord. Don't forget to hit the sub button and follow us. We do all the races.
Indeed, although we will be on vacation in
I
what?
say,
2
yeah,
weeks?
we will be missing a few actually,
I think we're
unfortunately.
due to
2,
our vacation
France and
in
Hungary.
yeah, vacationing in Europe.
And it's gonna be Hamilton right next to Ocon. Ocon will make himself get right in front. The pit kind of did not help him there.
It was a slow pit
Yep.
from Mercedes.
He ends
about
up behind both
4.3.
of these cars.
Yeah, they did not.
He
get
should
the
have
track
DRS, but he's
position.
on cold tires, so I don't really know what that means.
Yeah, they did not get the track position they wanted here. Stroll actually has yet to pit.
Yeah, he's gonna probably pit here soon, I would assume.
So he's going to have to change tires there, which will leave Ocon ahead. Now, this is Ocon and Hamilton. They have done battle before. It was at Hungary last year, right? And let's see. So the gap now between Verstappen and Leclerc, 3.4 seconds. And here's the double
Stroll
pass.
goes into the pits. Yep.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Here's Ocon and Lewis as they have, I would say history, but
It's like one
Ocon's
race.
feisty.
It's
I
one
would
race
say.
of history.
Yeah, it's one race of history.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So
I think Ocon's going to get past here on with DRS. I think on this turn.
Ferrari's got both cars within 10 seconds of Verstappen. They have about 10 laps worth of tire, 10, 12-ish laps of tire age. And Leclerc is putting in fastest lap times. I think we're going to see Max and Leclerc do battle again in, I would
Very
say, 5
soon.
laps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hang on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen, because or jump into Discord if you want the live shots. Join the subscriber watch party
Yeah.
there.
It's
Because
a watch
this is
party.
we've already seen Leclerc and Max do battle once, and they're going to go at it again here.
Leclerc on the fresher tires, so he should have the advantage.
Yeah, and then
So, like, what's the difference? I guess Lando's complaining that Mick was braking and moving at the same time.
well, that he had
And I
like
guess, like,
squeezed him out or something.
yeah.
Like, I'm not really sure. There's another fastest lap actually by Leclerc. Leclerc is putting in 109.553 as his lap time there. He's gaining about that was a delta of 1 second there.
Yeah,
In the
he's
last
gaining a
lap.
lot.
Yeah, and now it's down to 1.7. He's got to be within 1 second to activate DRS, and he's just gaining in every single sector. The Ferrari's impressive here today, and actually they have in race pace. I guess you were right, friend. Leclerc knew that something was up, that he had something
Yeah,
up
no,
his sleeve.
100%. Yeah, exactly. That.
And usually we laugh at because it's George that's just like racing his own race in the middle of nowhere, and he's just like kind of looking around. It's like, oh, there's nobody around me. But today it's Hamilton.
It's Hamilton. It's
Yeah.
Lewis's job today.
It's
Yeah,
Lewis's
just
turn
walking around.
to drive out there and look around and be like, yeah, there's nobody here, because there's the Red Bulls and the Ferraris just launched right now up ahead, and it's not even close.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's completely different.
Just
Literally a
for,
complete difference.
I mean, for some perspective, right? You have the Ferraris and the Red Bulls. They're putting in 109, 109.5s. Hamilton's got a 110. Esteban Ocon in fifth has a 111.4, and that's it. Like, it's just 111s through the rest of it. So there's the folks up ahead are at 1 to 1.5 seconds faster every lap.
Yeah, it's not even. It's like not even close, to be quite honest with you. But
And they're racing each other.
Leclerc's going to be in striking distance, and he is within striking distance here on Max.
Yeah, we said it was about 5 laps. They're about to collide here for.
Gasly gets 5 seconds for track limits.
Okay, so that's what you do for track limits there.
So that's what happens when you get a 5-second penalty, and I think
Pedro
Charles, I think, is going to go on the inside of Max here, and he's going to easily pass him. Yep.
So this is very impressive for Ferrari, because they've now passed Max twice, and they've made it stick. So Leclerc has been driving a tremendous race, and Max is going to try to get this back, but I don't think he can.
Yeah, Max's car is just not as fast as the Ferrari.
It's just not as fast, which is insane, because he was much faster yesterday. And like, Leclerc's just gone. Wow.
Verstappen radio.
Max, they're complaining about
the
car's
about
grip.
the grip.
This is Frank, I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked.
Yeah, no, I
Like
mean
I
the
came in
Ferrari is just
here,
faster.
I'm eating my words. I was like, this is gonna be like a Max just runs away with it, barring a mechanical disaster. Like there's not a chance. And like the Ferraris have it's very impressive. And here is
And
Mick
here's
finally
making a
passing.
move on K-Mac.
Wow, I am yeah, I am stunned. This I was
Yeah,
not
the Ferraris
expecting
found some
this.
little bit of pace that they didn't have, or that
And
they didn't
look
show
look
before.
at here, Science. Look at these lap times 1.2, 1.3. 2 seconds gained per lap here. Science is going to swallow up Verstappen too. This is this is crazy.
Yeah, it seems like he doesn't have almost like any, probably just doesn't have almost any confidence in the car. It just looks straight up slower.
I don't know. Somebody's going to have to check underneath the car if he has part of an AlphaTauri stuck there.
Yeah, I mean, the car from yesterday to today seems to have,
Yeah, the car from
it's
yesterday
different.
to today. And a 5
Norris
second
gets
penalty.
5 seconds.
Now they're dishing out 5 second time
Yeah,
penalties here.
Jesus.
So day goes from bad to worse for Lando. 5 seconds would put him, oh boy,
Yeah, it's
below
brutal.
Ricardo,
Yeah.
almost out of the points. And it's not what he wants to see.
But there also is the idea of, right, do they just save the tires and not even, here's Alonso, I think with Yuki, Alonso's driving on the grass.
So driving on the. Oh, a little finger wagging.
Wow. Yeah,
What he's like
that's insane.
giving Yuki's a finger wagging there. Well, so to your point, okay, let's play out because we're at half distance right now.
Yeah, I mean, Carlos is gonna be able to get Max here as well.
Carlos, I think, is going to get Max here as well. So the difference.
Unless the idea is that that Red Bull is like, you don't need to push here. Just keep okay lap time, stay within it. We'll pitch you, and then we put you on tires at the end and you chase.
Yeah,
And then it doesn't give Ferrari enough time to pit and chase him back, right?
exactly.
It's like that time gap. I think that's what they're playing here.
Now,
But it's still weird because it's like the Ferrari's super fast.
yeah, so you have to see like when it happened, right? It was like basically lap 27, 28, and it took Ferrari about 5 or 6 laps to get it back on the new tires here, right? And
Yes.
so you'd have to go. Oh,
Max
and
goes
now
into the
Verstappen's gonna
pits.
pit. Okay, so okay, no, this now I can't even do the math. 37. All right, so let's actually start writing this down because this is actually going to turn into something that is quite
He
interesting.
goes
So
on to another
Max
hards.
goes 37 for hards. Yeah. All right. And so he went about
Carlos had got a black and
22
white. If he
laps.
gets one more, it's 5 seconds, actually.
Yeah, the other thing is you just keep the car on the track. Just keep the car within
Yeah,
the white lines.
I, I guess it's kind of harsh. I don't know. I don't really know what to make of that rule, to be
I
honest
mean,
with
they're
you.
really policing the track limits today.
Yeah, because on
It
this one,
is.
they actually have the camera set up.
I also think it's rather harsh too because I don't know what advantage it gives you.
I think that's the problem. I don't think they know what the advantage is.
So then why are you throwing penalties out for it? Like, unless going wide into those turns really allows you to just carry way more speed.
It does. It does.
It does. Okay.
If you, in certain aspects, if you can use more of the tracking areas, it's a massive difference.
Okay.
But still, it, it it's still only like maybe half second, right?
Hmm.
So like a full 5 seconds doesn't really go back and forth. But I mean, you should stay within the track, yeah. For
Yeah.
sap and radius.
So they don't make the end of the race on this though. I mean, we're at half distance and well, just a little over half distance really. And we've gone through 2 tire changes. Like this is 3 stops for sure. And so they're trying to go back and forth with Ferrari at least one more time. And just to keep this interval right now because let's see, the gap is 24 seconds. So even if Ferrari pitted right now, they would come out in front actually.
They're still in front.
They are still in front.
I think I think they're just giving up first and second. They're almost just saying we need to just get third here.
Now, I'm not so sure about that. I actually think they are trying to play the track strategy here for at least another 2 stops because we did see Max going faster when he had the fresh set of tires. Let's see if this gap does end up shrinking. It's 24.4 right now. We'll keep an eye on it here. Almost looks like a video game right now.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I'm not exactly. I think nobody thought the Ferrari was actually this fast. So I think that was, or maybe it's not that the Ferrari was so fast, it's that they got it wrong in the Red Bull today, right?
Maybe,
That could also be
or
it.
they actually just gonna try to go the whole distance here. Maybe they could.
This is K-Mag behind him there.
23 seconds. So the gap is coming down. The gap at 23 seconds at the moment. Let's look a little farther down the
Finds his
order.
radio. Feels better on the hards. Oh, and there's gonna, well, this changes it all. If this is a,
Does it?
no, it's
Vetto
not,
found the gravel, but he was
no,
able to right the ship.
it's not a safety car.
No safety car. That was a very quick yellow.
It was.
Now, actually, so the meme is that Carlos Sainz finds the gravel, so he has not
Yeah,
yet.
that is true. Yeah, yeah, that's
He has not yet
typically
found the
finds it.
gravel today.
We'll see the,
Oh, he
oh,
get
Gasly
touched?
touches him. Yep.
Oh, Pedro Gasioso. Yep.
Yeah,
That's
Vettel's not wrong.
that's tough though, man.
Yeah.
I feel like Pierre is ahead going into that.
No, but
No?
no, Vettel, it's
No,
the
no,
same thing
Vettel.
that,
Yeah, you're right,
it's
you're
the
right.
same thing Checo and George.
Yeah. All right, so the gap is coming down here. Actually, Verstappen 21.5. And so he's made up about 3 seconds so far. He's made up about 3 seconds in 4 laps right now, is what he's doing. Yeah, Gasly's just it's been a
Russell's
bit of
gonna
a
pit
nightmare.
here.
It's been a nightmare for Pierre here this weekend. Good pit from
It's an okay
Mercedes.
pit stop.
Oh, it's
That's
2-7.
pretty good. Two
It's pretty
seven,
good.
not bad.
Yeah, I'd say quite good there.
Yeah, why Gasly? Why? Yeah, I agree too. Here, Norris is gonna go on the inside of Magnussen here,
They're going back and
and
forth.
then K-Mag doesn't have DRS on him somehow. Wait, how does he have DRS?
That I'm not sure. Although, recall, doesn't Norris have a 5 second time penalty?
Yeah, he does. He
Due to
does. He
track
does.
limits, yeah. So his 5 seconds would put him actually below Magnussen, but ahead of his teammate Daniel Ricciardo. And
Yeah, Gasly
Gasly
gets 5
has
seconds, is rightly
another.
so.
Well, not another, but yes, 5 seconds because they gave George 5, so
Yeah, it was the same exact thing.
same exact thing. Yeah, this works here. Max just keeps closing distance here, man.
Yeah,
Now,
he's just
so
under 110.
Ferrari needs to do the math because they need to say we need at least 8 laps or so in order to pass them back, depending on where they end up.
It's not the greatest pit stop for K-Mag.
It was about 6 seconds was what
Russell
they
on
had to
Zhao
eat up.
here. Russell making the move on the inside.
Hamilton again, black and white flag for track limits.
Almost. And then you have the pack of here. You have Magnussen, Sonoda, and Vettel here.
Is that Sainz or is that Leclerc
Or no,
getting hung
that's
up?
I don't actually know.
I think that's
I think that's Charles.
55. That's Sainz.
No, that's Sainz actually.
Yeah, Sainz there. Yeah, and a bit of traffic actually, which is actually going to help
Yeah,
Max.
I think that's why I was so confused when I was saying who was who. I was like, why is there a Ferrari here? And
Yeah.
I was trying to find it on the. I was like, where are we?
You're trying to find it on the
Like,
map.
yeah, exactly. I was like, where are we? I was trying so I could see which driver was who. Also, if you're listening in and wanting to watch the live pictures and everything, you can hop in, join Discord, hit the subscribe button, and the follow us for these races. Here's the replay of Vettel's collision, which I mean, he's in front.
Yeah, you're right. He's in front. He's in front. Gravel going everywhere. The slow-mo pics are actually quite cool there. I'm surprised like some of that stuff doesn't end
So
up in
I'm
the air
assuming
intakes.
this is Science. No, this is
Leclerc.
Charles.
That's Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people are disappearing off the map.
Off the map. Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're
slowly but
just
surely.
getting lapped right now. And literally, unless you're one of the first 3 or 4 cars, you are in danger of being lapped.
This is Carlos in the middle of this pack.
We have 2 pits, one for Schumacher, one for Norris at the moment. Both.
Norris is the 5 seconds that he has to serve.
That's right. That's right. Good reminder there. I forgot about that one. Both Haas in the
not the greatest pit stop. 3-3.
Actually, it's going to make Norris way down as we cycle through pit stops.
Lewis or this George making a move on K-Mag there.
George on Stroll, I think. This is Stroll.
George Russell trying to go on Stroll here.
It's crazy how close these guys can follow each other.
Yeah.
On this track, it's actually super impressive.
Stroll actually keeps it in front, I think.
For now.
No, Stroll does make it in front. Wow, nice job by Stroll there.
Yeah, we've had some fantastic battles throughout the midfield here. Ooh.
Oh.
Wow, Russell with the elbows out. No contact, though.
Oh.
Good pass, good hard racing here once again between Stroll and Russell. We've seen these battles.
Stroll still hasn't pitted, right?
No, he's got one.
Oh no,
pit.
he did already pit.
He's
You're right.
Russell
K-Mag maybe thinking about making the pass on Stroll here. I mean, Schmick, sorry. Gonna go on the inside. He should make him, and he does. He gets the pass. Stroll thinking about going back in on him, and he doesn't. Mick does have DRS here on George, so I think George may be the fresh meat.
Could be. He's got close a bit of a gap there, but Stroll's going to try to counter.
Stroll actually tries to go back down on the inside, and he does actually pass Mick there.
Yeah, which actually is going to break up the gap.
Yeah, which is what Russell wants.
Yep. With lets Russell get away, but Mick is going to go right back at him. Let's see if he goes on the inside here. No. Yes. Maybe.
No, I think
Mick
Stroll's going to keep this one here. They're going to go side by side.
Maybe. No, can't make it stick.
Hamilton is black and white flag. Yeah, Lewis, everybody's getting it. Yeah. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
it
he's
is.
you
You're
are
not the only
not the
one.
only one.
Yeah, really not the only one. I'm sure the drivers' meeting after this is.
Let's see. It's got to be both
Yeah,
tires
he's
here.
off right there. He's probably technically off if you put a slow mo camera.
Up top
You
though.
just can't see it.
Yeah. They
But
they
like
maneuver from
I
up
bet
top.
they have a camera that looks right on the line, and I'm sure he's over. But it's like
I mean,
it's probably a freaking inch, to be quite honest with
it
you.
is kind of hard to see from the driver's like from where you're
Yeah, because
sitting
your
as the
tire's
driver.
18 inches. It's really hard to actually
Yeah.
see if you're over it or not. And I mean, I don't really know. Here's Norris making the pass on Yuki into turn 3 or 4. Sorry,
I have to
on
say
turn.
there has been a lot of action in this race.
Yeah, there has
This
been a
race
lot of
has
action though.
delivered, actually, and there's going to be more because meanwhile, Max has closed to 18.2 seconds to Leclerc. So if Leclerc were to pit now, he would be behind, and now the Ferrari is on the clock.
Hey,
Right,
the Hasses have found each other.
the Hasses have found each other, and they're actually
Oh,
trying to make
wow. That was
moves
actually
too.
pretty aggressive defense there by Stroll, but it was pretty fair.
Stroll's gonna have to pit though. He's got to get out of here.
No, Stroll still pitted.
No, he's only got one.
Yeah,
The
it
both.
may be one stopping, and then he just kind of waits here. And then, wow, K-Mag with a crazy lunge. Wow. That was beautiful. 2 Hasses, 1 Aston Martin. That sounds.
That is crazy. As both Hasses are
eh,
in the points, 8 and 9 here, and they
Ooh,
look to
took
try
a
to
lot of
stay
curb
that
there,
way.
K-Mag. That was rather adventurous by him, I would say.
And actually, if you're Haas, you probably have the running order right here with Mick up in front.
Yeah. This I want to see this lunge. This is huge. Oh, it's because Stroll doesn't have the DRS.
He just flies in
Wow, the
here.
straight line speed is nuts.
Look at the wheel.
Oh, he also
Full
didn't. That's
180.
what it was. He didn't have any battery left. It was charging.
Ah, okay.
So that's why he was able to go by so fast. He was probably using battery to stay ahead of Mick and everything. And then
Gotcha.
Alonso, wait,
Alonso is behind Leclerc.
Charles.
Yeah.
But
Well, so that's Ocon
wait,
there.
why is why is he passing him?
Well, they're getting lapped.
Oh, because he can unlap himself.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure he
you're
can
right. You can
race.
battle to unlap yourself.
He's not that slow, right? So like
He's not.
Leclerc is doing battle with Ocon, who's
Who's
in sixth, but
but
is threatening to be
oh lap
lapped.
up.
This is kind of bizarre.
This is really weird. I don't think we've ever seen this.
Oh, they're just gonna bring him
Leclerc
into the pits.
boxes. Yeah, because you're gonna lose too much time just battling with that, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
make it. It's pointless.
So Leclerc at
That's really
49.
weird, actually. I don't think we've ever seen that.
No, that is weird. Leclerc at
And then it's a
49.
Leclerc chase Max, and pretty sure he'll get him
I
easy.
think
2
the
4.
gap is going to be 7 or 8
Yeah, but
seconds.
it's not enough.
No, it's not. But that's why. So okay, so
Like
that's where you're
Verstappen's gonna get eaten alive.
doing math here. You have 21 laps. Verstappen has already put 12 laps on his tires. Max has to
And
pit
then
again.
Verstappen still has to get through all the traffic.
Yeah, I don't think the tire strategy is going to work for Red Bull right now.
No, it
Unless
doesn't. Signs is boxing too.
and then Science goes at 50. And they're making up about 1 second per lap.
Yeah, he easily wins. Like Charles easily should pass and win.
Yeah.
I don't see how it would go any other. way unless something breaks or something. But
Yeah.
he's got like a full second of pace over him.
It's actually super. It's crazy how fast the Ferraris are today. It's a 2.6 from science. That's pretty good. Is he gonna come out behind? He's gonna come out behind Leclerc.
Yeah, it's basically if Max has to defend against Sainz and Leclerc.
He's got to defend against both, and he's got
Let's take a
12
quick
extra laps of
restroom.
tire degradation that he has to contend with. I mean, the gap is only 2.4 seconds. This gap is going to disappear in 3 laps, and then you don't really have another out if you're Red Bull, which is the unfortunate part. Yeah, unfortunately, the whole Perez being out of the race on the first lap kind of threw a monkey wrench into the whole thing. Kind of a George Russell there ruining the race for Red Bull. Is Latifi? We have a retirement here for Williams. Latifi was actually racing decently well these last couple of weeks. Got a points finish in
RIP.
Canada, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Hamilton.
No,
being,
no, 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 no,
no,
no, no,
wasn't
no,
it
no.
Canada?
Non-Canada. It was the race after.
The
Both
race
of the
after.
Canadians did not do well in
That's right.
Canada.
That's right. That's right. Where were we after Canada? It's Silverstone.
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 Yeah. He did well at Silverstone.
Yeah.
Here's Hamilton into the pits. See how his pit is.
Chad is saying no. Go Tiffy.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Go Tiffy.
Our man. We need him to. Well, no, we don't want
Look,
to save
there are
here.
no walls here at the Red Bull ring. Just
no,
gravel.
If you want to watch the pictures or any of that live, and then follow us on Discord here or on YouTube, subscribe. We're almost to 800.
We're almost
enough. We're almost 800.
Dude, yeah.
So help us get there. And then looks like Leclerc should pass
this
Max.
This is just going to be too easy. He makes up a second per lap, and he's just gone. Like
it's not even.
I was so
like
wrong.
Not even a competition.
I was so wrong about this today. I have to admit, I was so wrong about this. Like Max has just been so dominant here in Austria, but this is wow. Now, can Ferrari get out of its own way and actually win the race? Well, they've got some traffic up here.
Goes wide. Leclerc's gonna just easily pass him there.
Leclerc's gonna get him. Yeah. There are definitely
Max has DRS, but I don't think he's fast enough.
There are definitely some Ferrari fans here in Austria.
That's true. There are.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That was a good move there by Leclerc.
These are clean passes. These two are going back and forth. Let's see, Landy, and I think we're well. I've got my Red Bull shirt on today, so I was going for Max.
Here's Verstappen radio.
What did he say?
This is what a joke the traction is.
Oh yeah, he's just doesn't have it today.
Yeah, mainly probably Max fans, but we don't really kind of like a lot of different people, to be honest.
I don't have any issues with Ferrari. We have a big Ferrari family.
Yeah, we have actually a huge Ferrari family.
Huge Ferrari family.
No problems.
Yeah. Yeah, these last 2 races rather unfortunate for Max. I feel is like, well, last week he had a piece of a car in his car.
Yeah, exactly.
This week, not
so
as
now
much.
The next thing is that Max needs to not get passed by Carlos.
Well, but 3.7 seconds, and
yeah, he can make that up in 3 laps.
Carlos just put in a 1.8. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
1:08.9.
The pace from the Ferrari is just out of this world today.
And it does look like Ferrari is going to be content giving Leclerc the win here, who hasn't won, by the way.
Yeah, who hasn't actually won.
Since Australia.
Right. There's George thinking about making a pass there on Alonso. Backs out. Maybe he's going to go again.
Not only Leclerc has never won from
George is going to go on the outside.
Oh, yeah,
should easily pass Alonso.
Yeah, George Russell going into the top 6 here. But yes, Leclerc has never won from not pole, and he hasn't won since Australia. It's been months,
Yeah,
several
literally
months.
months.
Yeah, since we've had a Leclerc win. I'm trying to shake up the order here a little bit of things.
Yeah, it looks like Signs will catch him on
58,
yeah, around
57
soon. Oh, now here's the stat thing. Oh, says in 1 lap,
in one
but
lap, but I don't know about one
I don't
lap.
know if 1 lap is going to be it, but it's at least within 1 or 2. Here's the Lewis radio. What's the reason?
Looking at an opportunity at the end of the race.
They want to pit maybe in interesting.
Interesting. They have Hamilton on a medium tire, yeah. And actually, Hamilton being 33 seconds behind Sainz. Whew.
Yeah, Signs puts 108.6.
Yeah. Which is the fastest lap of the race here as he's just going after Max at the moment. Having traction problems all afternoon. Something in the setup was not right here with Red Bull today.
Yeah, I would have because the pace looks he's even way off his like sprint pace.
Yeah, exactly. He looked so much better in the sprint yesterday. Although, I don't know, I can't get around the fact that if the Ferraris hadn't actually battled each other, would we have just seen this yesterday? I don't know. It didn't look that way,
Didn't
though.
look that way at
It
all.
didn't look that way. It looked like the Ferraris were very, very off. Maybe they just didn't configure it for maximum go. I don't know. It's kind of odd, right?
Then I think Signs not on this one, but turn 3, he should be able to make the pass. I think he should be able to get close enough. Yeah.
We got
What the
15
fuck?
laps to go. Nice little front wing camera here. I love this angle actually. This one's very good.
Is he gonna get close enough? Inside? No, peaks. See if Max gets any traction this time. It's a decent takeoff.
Sign's still going at it here.
Signs' car is broken.
Oh my god, Oh my goodness.
And that sector 2 flag, so that may be a
This is this is a safety car.
oh shit, the car's on fire. He needs to get out of the car. He needs to like
Oh my
actually get
god, the
out of the
car
car.
is
Like
on
get out
fire.
of the car. And he needs to brake.
Carlos,
He needs
stop
to
the
get out of the
car.
car.
Carlos,
Get out of the
stop the
car. Dude, get out of the car.
The guys, I don't know why they're not bringing
Dude, help him.
the car is still moving. Oh my god, this is crazy. He's just got to get out.
Dude. Yeah, because they don't have a parking brake.
They don't have, oh, and he's on the hill.
Yeah.
And so he can't stop it. Oh my god.
Also,
Yeah,
now Max will pit. Max will now pit
Yep.
softs and
Yep,
go at
yeah.
Charles.
Yep, exactly. Oh,
And Charles
he
can't
got out.
pit.
He's okay.
Yeah, I saw right on the thing. I called it because he's in the car, and then he immediately pulls off to the right, and Max just goes. And I was like, the car must be broken or something, because I don't know why he's pulling off. Like you never take the turn like you set up on the left when you're trying to go into there.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody's saying Gotifi would be such a good driver if he didn't have a wall magnet disease. Okay, yeah, master plan, no Ferrari master. Yeah,
Ferrari master plan has not worked here as there has literally gone up in flames. Actually, Leclerc can pit, by the way. You just pit both, but both of them will essentially have to pit next to one another.
Oh no, he can pit. Yeah.
Yeah. They'll both pit. They'll both pit for a tire change here, so that's gonna. And now they're gonna be on the same age of tire, though. This actually helps Max because
Yeah, this
Max
is
had
an
12. It
advantage,
was the 12
Max.
laps
Yeah.
on the tire, and they
Now
weren't
Max can go chase.
exactly. They weren't going to be able to repit. So it was basically a done deal that Leclerc was going to win this thing. Now
Well,
you
it's
have
also, I'll be honest with you, it's a huge swing in the points championship because when Perez out here,
bingo.
it's like a, it's like a free 20 points basically with signs making in second, right?
Just
And
finishing.
just finishing the race, doing nothing, just literally getting his car across and hoping it doesn't break. But now it's like you have it's nothing. It's only
Nothing.
a 6 point gain
Right,
because Max
exactly.
probably ends up, worst comes to worst, Max gets second. And also in terms of the championship, 6 point difference, Max is still ahead by, I think it's like 80 points or something like
Yeah,
that.
a lot. But
So
yeah,
like,
it's huge for the constructors because Perez was already out.
yeah, it would have been a huge swing. It's brutal. But I mean, I guess that's why they call it the constructors.
Wow.
The car literally started turning in
The
flames.
car literally on fire.
They need, well, I don't think anybody could touch the car because it was on fire, right? Like they have to cool it, they have to
Well,
then
I
move
mean,
the car.
yeah, they got to get the car. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
they did get the fire out. Yeah, like they just needed to finish the race, and they literally couldn't finish the race as Sainz's car explodes at
And then
lap
something like
57.
pops up. Yeah, he goes on the inside and boom.
Oh my, yeah, there's like debris that comes out of the back. Oh, there's a lot of debris that comes out of the
There's a
back.
lot of debris that comes out. Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
goodness.
It's like actually exploding. Did you see that? The side pods broke.
Yeah.
Like it exploded out of the side pods. The engine
Well,
literally exploded.
you can't actually DNF with a single point because in order to get fastest lap, you need to finish in the top 10. Like if you don't finish in the points, your fastest lap doesn't
Yeah,
count.
it doesn't count.
Doesn't count. You still technically have fastest lap, just nobody ends up with the 1 point.
Yeah, yeah. It just like it's removed, right?
Yeah, it
It's
just
just
like
like it
doesn't
doesn't
do anything.
exist.
Yeah. You just prevented somebody else from getting the point,
I
basically.
guess the race resumed
Yeah,
and
because
nobody told us.
they got the car off the track. Wait, but where is Max? He's 4 seconds
Max is
behind.
4.2 seconds behind because there was no actual safety car, I think.
It was a virtual safety car. They just kind of
Yeah,
restarted
so
it.
they just save your time deltas just stayed the same.
So interestingly enough, Max is going to have to slingshot himself here with DRS over two
Yeah, I mean he's got 10
cars.
laps. He's got 10 laps to chase Charles.
He's got 10 laps to
So
chase Charles.
and Charles is complaining about his throttle pedal.
Okay,
It's the
well
Ferrari just braking.
he just saw his teammate's car go up in flames, and you gotta be thinking in the back of your head, "Am I next?" Right? Like, because when usually, like, what was it? A couple of races ago, we had like 4 Ferrari-powered cars that just like stopped working. Right? Like,
It's happened. We've
it
seen
has
some crazy
happened.
stuff. If you want to watch these pretty crazy pictures, follow us or hit the subscribe button here on YouTube and then head over to our Discord.
That's also going to be going to be a full power unit change. Like there is.
My God.
Wow. The car's gone. That car is gone. All right,
How
Max
many
made the.
power units are they on that one?
I don't remember.
On
But
Charles, I think they're on the limit to where
Charles is
they
on the
take
limit.
penalty. I don't know about Carlos's.
All right, so here's where things get super interesting.
Is
Is
Charles
Max
radio?
Ferrari says, "Don't worry about it. It's all okay." Max has just put in the fastest lap of the race,
Yeah, because he's
107.8.
picking up the DRS.
Yeah, he's got one more car to pick up DRS on.
He's
He's got
basically had DRS. There's something on the track. That thing's been on the track the entire race. I'm surprised nobody. It's off the racing line, but here's George with Alonso or Ocon. This is Ocon.
I
He
think
does
that
make the
was
move. Nice move there.
I think that was part of the crash from
With
Perez
che
at the start.
yeah, or maybe no, it was already there for Vettel, but it was just kind of interesting seeing it there. But it's off the racing line, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Now Charles has to hang on. So,
I mean, Max sees him, and
yep,
we've seen what happens when you dangle a carrot out in front of him. So it's
Max sees him. He just put in the next fastest lap.
Charles
Actually,
just put in the fastest, and then he puts in the fastest.
yeah,
Yep. And then
exactly.
I
The
think
two
this
of
is
them.
Lando on a Haas here. This is Norris and Magnussen. They've been battling all day. This has been the Haas's have made the. This is an interesting thing. The Haas's have made, or this is Norris taking the outside into turn 4. He should be able to get it, but the Haas's have made this midfield battle like way more exciting this year because you have McLaren's now trying to pass the Haas's, the Alpines battling with the Haas's, the Alphas battling with the Haas's. Instead, it was like Mercedes and McLaren just kind of like coast,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
They've like
Agreed.
added another team into the mix, which has been great.
I did. And yeah, the podium is always up on disc. We always leave that one. We always leave the trophy ceremony
Yeah,
up.
this yeah, and interviews and everything, all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff.
We go offline because there's like not much else to talk about, but like yeah, that stays
Yeah,
up.
you don't want to hear us after that point, but
uh, I don't know. Max doesn't seem to be gaining here anymore now that he's got that he's lapped the cars essentially that were giving him DRS. The straight line speed of the Ferrari still.
yeah, I think ultimately the Charles times are just too much for him to get through.
Oh boy. Oh boy,
Yeah, it's
Carlos.
brutal.
That is.
Yeah, it's from from winning his race to just,
Well, what else have we got here? Both Haas's in the points, as you were saying. Both McLaren's in the points right now.
it's pretty
Both.
interesting. Here's a clear radio again. He's complaining about the throttle again. But oh, Albon's in the points actually. I didn't actually realize this, and they just called that out. But he has to hold off Bottas
Yeah.
there to
Half a
here's
second
Verstappen
behind.
radio.
They were saying what potentially some issues
The
with.
throttle issues. He's complaining about the throttle again. Charles asked again, and he says, "What's the issue with the throttle?" As he said, he complained, said it was okay, and then now he's complaining again about it. So I'm
Yeah, I
not
mean,
exactly sure what it
he's
is.
he's on a
Or maybe
ticking
he's
bomb at
just
the moment.
yeah. Seriously, he's literally in it. His car's about to explode any second, I guess, as we saw with Bottas almost had him on the exit there.
He's gonna get him
Locked
here, I
up, but I
think.
still think he gets him anyways because he has the DRS. Yeah.
No, this is Sag. Puts Albon out of
Nice
the
move there,
points.
Bottas, but yeah, it's tough for Albon.
Yeah, that's sad. Just out of the points here for
Yeah, it's
Albon for
also
right
the
now.
Albon. That's the Williams with the new upgrades and everything that is doing pretty well. It's kind of
So Max just put in
Leclerc
another
radio
fastest.
again.
Oh, I just don't think there's.
So the throttle gets stuck and he needs to remove his foot. I don't think it's actually going to be like an issue,
Nah.
but it's just something the driver has to annoyingly um, fix about. Yeah, Sainz is gutted 100%. I mean, going from hero over there to this is just makes it really tough. And then just if you guys want to follow along in the Discord, here are the pictures. Don't
Did the
forget to
McLaren
subscribe and
just
follow.
slip there for a second?
I don't know. We'll see on the next intervals here. The problem is, so yeah, the issue here, which is I can totally see how it's bad, is like when you pick your foot up off of the gas, right?
Yeah,
You expect to have no pressure on the accelerator,
right.
but it's still giving gas when he doesn't want it to give gas and he's taking his foot off.
Oh, I see. It's just the throttle is getting stuck. I see.
Yeah, it's basically it's not. Yes,
Okay.
it's I don't know what direction exactly it's getting stuck in, but it's getting stuck. So it's like either when he wants to put gas, he can't, or when he's trying to leave it on. Yeah, I mean this is nuts. he's actually struggling. Max is within a second, has already cut down to
3 seconds here.
second. It's
And
3 seconds in
he's
the
gonna have
lap.
one more DRS off of a McLaren here in a second. I think this is Ricardo.
This cannot end fast enough for Ferrari.
Yeah, this race cannot end fast enough for Ferrari.
This needs to. Oh my God, that's what he's doing. The brake. So the accelerator is literally stuck. So he's taking his right foot. I have my pedal.
Yeah.
So like the pedal.
Yeah.
He's pushing down and it's getting stuck and he's taking his other foot and lifting it back up. So with his right foot, he's pushing gas and then taking the accelerator off with his foot again. It's kind of nuts.
That is kind of crazy. So within 3 seconds here, but he's got 4 laps to go.
So he's like pushing and then wrapping his foot around it and pulling it off when he doesn't need gas.
There is one McLaren between Verstappen and Leclerc.
Which he'll pick the DRS up here.
Is Norris.
What's his lap time though?
7.
Leclerc's still putting in good lap times.
108.9. It's about 4/10 that Verstappen made up. It's not enough.
I mean, I think he's going to be fine, but it makes it exciting, right?
It does slightly, yeah.
Like I think he'll make it. It's only 2 more laps that he has to go. It's this one and 2 more, so I think he'll be fine. But
yeah, if this was a 10-lap run, it wouldn't.
Different story.
Different
yeah.
Story.
Oh, Albon finds himself further back. Unfortunate.
Albon now down into 12th after that pass by Alonso. Nice pass though. Good on Alonso. Looks like Hamilton is going to actually end up on the podium. Actually.
Yeah, he should.
He's going to be in third.
Mercedes 3 and 4, and Russell may actually find himself up there too, after even getting that penalty.
That's right. He had a penalty in the opening lap, which ruined Sergio Perez's race from lap 1. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't know if it changes the championship all that much, since Sainz also out for Ferrari. So only one car
radio
will
again.
finish.
Yeah, I can't imagine how hard this car is to drive right now.
He just needs to coast it around for 2 laps.
Because also think about it, right? Like
lap 69.
If it's giving gas when it's not supposed to and you're trying to shift, the computer's like, what are you doing?
You can't shift down.
Yeah, you can't. But I mean, he's still.
It's still 3 seconds.
Driving
Charles
fast
is
enough,
win.
so it doesn't matter.
Unless he just goes careening off the track. And now we're going on to lap 70 here.
Should be fine.
2 more laps to go.
Unless something really breaks, you should be okay.
Now,
lap 69, yeah.
It was like, what was it, Imola, right? With like 3 laps to go or something, then got totally scuffed. Because, I mean, he can give some back to Verstappen here. He doesn't need the entire gap.
Yeah, he doesn't. He can just kind of coast it.
I think so.
Still like a 3-second gap. Like it's still a lot.
Yeah, Verstappen
Like,
got ahead of Lando. Mick Schumacher is looking like a 6th place finish. That is going to be the best.
Yeah, it's going to be the highest finish he has, which should be really incredible for him.
Last week was his first finish in the points in F1. This week he's looking at a 6th place finish, which is quite fantastic for young Mick here in the Haas. Leclerc is going to see the
Leclerc's totally
lap.
fine. The only way Max would have passed him is if he had DRS on this lap, which he doesn't.
Exactly.
And he won't have it.
About a lap short, I think.
He needed literally 1 or 2 more laps.
Lap or 2 short,
and he would have been good.
Now, I think Leclerc,
unless somehow he makes up like a full second here, but there's no shot.
No, is he going uphill
Leclerc
here?
just needs to nail that corner, and he does. Yeah, he's fine. Charles should be totally okay here.
Yeah, and we're gonna be saying Forza Ferrari here in a second as the Scuderia. Well, all Ferrari fans holding their breath basically.
Yeah, everybody's still like, oh my god, does the engine explode?
Does
But
the
he should be
engine
totally fine. It
explode?
should be totally fine.
Is he coming around? Is he gonna take the checkered?
Yeah, he should. And you have to say, hats off to Charles here coming back, and it's been kind of difficult for him. And congratulations from Charles. And he makes the it makes a pretty fun line cross there. Good job from Charles and
Yes.
the Ferrari team there. Max damage control only gets second. Is not the worst thing in the world it could have for him. But pretty much the story of the day is Sainz is Ferrari not making it across the line. But also we have Lewis here and Russell. Well, yeah, they're like full 40 seconds
Yeah, they're
behind. It's like
40
a full
seconds
lap.
behind.
Yeah,
how
it's still
how
like
the
actually
fates have
racing.
changed though, Frank. We go from one week with Science winning, and then the whole like the image of Mattia giving Charles this pep talk, right?
Yeah.
After like with the bizarre strategy to leave Charles out on these hard tires, to then coming back this week,
And
Charles
also
going
have to say,
wins it.
hats off to Mercedes too, though.
Lewis
Having a
there,
3-4 right there is pretty good. Lewis doing a really good job of saying third there. And then Russell gets the penalty, but also ends up in fourth. So it's really good. I would say excellent job. Maximum points there from maximum possible points that they could get there from Mercedes there. It was really good. And then as you kind of shouted out here, big shout out to, well, first of all, Esteban Ocon up in fifth,
yep.
but Mick Schumacher in fifth or in sixth, the highest points total, and also beating his teammate there as well.
Yes, a great weekend for Mick Schumacher. A great weekend for Haas overall, who had pace the entire weekend. They make it stick in the race here, as Gunther will enjoy the rock star status for a week, I suppose, in this one. Then this works out well for them. I'm just trying to look at the schedule because I'm pretty sure we are off for
Yeah,
a
the
week.
master plan. Yeah, we're off for a week, and then we go to France, and then we go to Hungary, and those two races we are
Yes,
away.
indeed. We are off. Yeah, we're off for a week and then we will be in Europe, so the actual time of the race for France and Hungary for us will be reasonable, I would say. And then we have the summer break and we get back at it at the end of August with the 6 a.m. race in Belgium. Uh, but yeah, just very strange that Red Bull just didn't seem to have the pace this morning.
Yeah, it
Today.
was kind of odd, but yeah, the master plan sort of did work with only one car getting across the line, but it still happened. Um, well, I appreciate everybody coming in, watching the stream. We're gonna keep the pictures up in Discord here, and don't forget to hit subscribe and join us for the for future races. I hope you all enjoyed this.
Yeah, this one was a lot of fun. There were a ton of battles, especially in the midfield, going back and forth. At one point, right, we had 5 cars jockeying for position. We were going 3 wide into the turns. It was actually quite more. I think it was more exciting than we had thought it was going to be, for sure. Look at the McLaren fans. What's up with the McLaren fans?
Oh, they think they're orange, right?
Look at all. Yeah, yeah. That's funny. They finished 7 and 9th. To be fair, they did want just a double points finish out of this weekend, and they got it. So, actually, not bad for McLaren. Fernando Alonso just finished in 10th, so technically it's a double points for Alpine as well. And so then you have Bottas, Albon, Stroll, Joe, Gasly, Sonoda. As you were saying, the AlphaTauri is just not really fighting much of anything today. And then Vettel in 17th after he spun out after getting contact with Gasly. All right. Well, that is going to be the celebration at Ferrari here today. And what I guess you have the two extremes. You have Charles winning it. You have Carlos's car blowing up, and somewhere in the middle, I suppose, is going to be Verstappen, who does come in second, but a little bit maybe they left a little bit on the table, so to speak. Hamilton in third, Russell in fourth, Ocon fifth, Schumacher sixth, Norris, Magnussen, and Ricardo, and then Alonso to round out your top 10. Okay, that's going to be it. I think we are good to go here for this weekend. We'll leave, as Frank said, we'll leave the interviews and the podium up in Discord. Link is in the description of the video. Congratulations, Charles and Ferrari, for finally getting back on the podium after all these months and making this a bit more interesting here for us. And that's it. We will see you. Well, we'll see you on Discord because we will be watching the races for sure. Although we'll be on vacation for the next couple. But otherwise, we'll see you back when we get back. All right. Have a great rest of your Sunday. That's it. We're done. Cheers.